So my plan for this stream is a friend of mine a while back sent me a tool that he's been working on. He makes his own games, and it's sort of his platform for making these games, and a lot of assets in it. But in it is a tracker that he had been working on, and a tracker and a waveform editor. So my plan, CPU, that's the very man. Um, so if you have any question, you can address them to him directly, and I'll probably do that myself. But I wanted to try this track. I tinkered with it a little bit, just see what I could get, and I had some feedback. As you know, CPU. I had some feedback from because the tracker wasn't quite super user friendly yet, so it's a lot better now. With just very simple. So I say, but simple sort of tweaks for editing, like keyboard shortcuts. Really, that's what it was. So it's sort of at a stage when I can actually try to write something with it, and he has just a very tune to write with it. So let's see if I can. Oh, where is it? Okay, I need to reopen. Bear with me. Now. Oh, where is that link? I was gonna try and load the okay, there it is. So it's an 8-bit sort of tune that I want to write with it for this game. So I think he's remaking making a remake of this game essentially, and so it's actually a good little tune to try and get the hangs of that tracker. Now there's rarely anything easy with trackers, working with trackers in general. So it's it's great that it's not an overly complicated tune, and we'll try that. So I think if we can even get just the bass line down, and then we can work from there. And yeah, I always just saw your message. You saying my video was gone on Twitch. Yeah, I didn't see any drops, so I don't know. Sometimes it can hang on your side. But no, I don't see any drops here. I have the video running up all the time. Anyway, so let me try and figure out. So from what I understand here, we have the piece of music we want to edit. So we need to create one, and in it, because in trackers everything is divided in patterns. Usually that's what they're called, or blocks, or segments, or pattern is a standard way. But I like the idea of calling it a block. So we can here just create a block. So can we actually just create a block without creating a piece of music? Yeah, we can probably do that. So you know what, I'm assuming block name mt1. So edit, oh yeah, so here we can pick, okay, block name, and I'm assuming then if we create another block, we can pick in second block. No, oh, we can add the second block here. So here is how the blocks will be played, the order they'll be played in, and here is our actual blocks, and from there we can edit them. So can we just go to just one and edit it from there, or edit it from here? Yeah, it's all the same. Okay. And here, so if we pick here new block 2, yeah, there you go. Cool. Yeah, simple enough. It's actually a lot more visual than what I would expect, like I would expect from a tracker type of stuff. And by the way, I have it full screen. Somehow Streamlabs wouldn't pick up the individual window. It would actually pick it up, but just have it as just like the image would freeze on it, so you wouldn't see any activity. So I actually tried and rebooted, and still you're wearing that shirt. The second these notes. Um, yeah, so really odd. So I can only display the entire screen, which is probably because I'm assuming this is yeah, there you go. Everything is nicely aligned here. But when you go full screen, things go slightly off kilter. It doesn't bother me, but it's an interesting behavior. Yes, so Streamlabs wouldn't pick up the single window. Anyway, so let's go and edit a block. So I'm gonna have to just get that tune. Oh, I just realized nobody told me I'm not sharing the screen at all. There you go. Come on, we've what 9-10 people in the stream. Nobody told me they weren't seeing anything on screen. Because I wasn't sharing the screen. So this is it. It's sort of a background development. The development environment that CPU here in the chat made. You can edit sprite, image, tile maps, and that kind of stuff. Your palette. But in it is waveform editor, where you can select different instruments and just add. That's really loud in my earphones. And just tailor them. So we'll go through that afterwards. I think right now before we start playing with stuff like that is going to be to just get used to the composition part. So you can set the attack, as with everything, the release. Once you've not doing anything, once you release the key, I like that it's actually. I really like that, because very often in a lot of synths and since I don't know what those values are. Like they give you, even on VST, like very professional VST and modern VSTs, they give you a lot of kind of fancy values and all that, but don't tell you, like, okay, I know that it's gonna take a second 30 to or whatever. Yeah, it's decimal, 1.3 seconds to fade out. It just gives me a good idea, because even this thing here, which is the graph for the attack level and sustain, and my head is in the way, but sometimes doesn't tell you exactly what those values are here. So the attack, like here, is going to take a second for the instrument to actually come to full volume. So we got a decay, okay, and the sustain. So what level? Yeah, so that's actually very, and again in percentage, that's actually really, like, you have no idea how clear I wish most VSTs were with their ADSR, because very often it's guesswork. Yeah, and as far as I know, that's the, oh, we got a phase here. Oh, interesting. So is the phase, it seems to square off the Anyway, before we go into that, let's go back into the music editor. So as I said, we got our music, where we select which block are played in which order, and here we have our block list where we can edit individual blocks, and here we can select our instruments, I believe, that are used for that. I haven't come to that part, but if you, from what I understand here, it'll create just a single note, and then we can play it. Oh yeah, we can play it from the start. Cool. And what was the edit mode again? Oops. Free play mode. Yeah, that's the Alt key. So we can, that was missing in the versions, like to try stuff without committing it to the edit, because it would overwrite everything otherwise. And the play mode, where we can actually do that. Delete is, yeah. Does that delete? No, it just deletes on the Oh, but we should be able to. Yeah, okay, dude. Okay, let's get to work. You need at least one instrument. Okay, but I thought it defaulted. Yeah, well, we have an instrument here anyway. It defaults to that one triangle instrument. I'm not exactly sure what that does, but that part is not quite clear. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have to create one, so it won't. Because here it does play something, and when I play back, it does play something. I believe that. Okay. Okay. Click on the instrument block and create one. Okay. Wave type. So I'm not sure. Okay, edit. So right now we just have a triangle wave that will just. Oh, the volume is gone on this. This will fill the instrument with your definition. Okay. How do I affect the volume? Because right now it's playing super low. Volume. Bottom left. So I'm rather confused. So if I create another instrument here, just for sake of creating a new one, we'll have a square. Done. That's all we need. Ooh. Okay, with full volume here. But here I'm not getting any sound. Yeah, I really get confused with this navigation here. Just remove it and recreate it. Fair enough. That's as good a solution as any. And then here we'll create a square wave. At least we'll have to, maybe because we'll have the base. I'll use the square for the base. Okay. Yeah, this is the part that confused me altogether. This instrument selection, because right now it's only playing. Oh no, that didn't save the square. Done. Okay. But here we get no sound to this. So do we have to get? Yeah, it's really interesting. Let's see if I create another one and go to triangular. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be working on triangular or triangle waves. Let's try sawtooth. Or do we need to select it here? You have to click on done, finalize the waveform. Well, yeah, I did that. On this one, yeah, let's see. Oh, I thought I'd done that on all of them. Yeah. Yeah, that's really odd. I don't understand why the volume is gone altogether here. Because it was working a second ago. Oh, this is sorry about that, folks. This is weird. I'm actually struggling. Maybe it's a bug. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, we knew that. You know, we knew it would happen. You know, this issue. So square wave. We'll use the square wave for now, I suppose. Block edit. And it's always the way as well with software you haven't really used. Whoa! When it works, it works. So maybe we don't need as much volume for now. Does that work? Not quite. Yeah, that's really a CPU. It's funny when whichever instrument I select here, it seems to just play the square wave. Let's clear this. No. And it seems new tracker. Yeah. It's a tracker that CPU is working on. The idea is to write a small tune with it, but we're sort of struggling with the instrument selection at the moment. Which is okay. We knew it's hard. It's hard to write a tool when you're not, a user of that tool yourself necessarily. CPU is a developer programmer. You do some image work as well, but his own admission, he's never really used the tracker much. So it's kind of hard. It's really hard to write a tool that you're not using yourself. And I think I do not update it if you do not change the cell. I'm not sure. Oh, so here. No, it's gone again. Yeah, and I've no instrument whatsoever. Interesting. So it actually just plays the. No, it's gone. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm pressing the keys here, but I'm not getting much. Like, we are getting there is a sound. I'm not sure if you even hear it. I hear it in the headphones, but it's super, super low. Actually, you probably don't hear it because I have a noise gate on this for very low noise. By the way, I updated as well my all my filters for my mic, so all the buzzing and humming that used to be present aren't there. Remember that he talked about it on Discord? Yeah, you know, he's done the if you remember the 664 Maniac Mansion cover, all the stuff behind him, it is his own creation that he created with that as well. So I believe, or something resembling that. So yeah, it's it's a great tool that's worked for him. So I think the music editor is the latest edition is made. And he was the one who commissioned the cover as well. So I'm kind of at a loss here, CPU, I'm afraid. I didn't try to try different instruments earlier. Yeah, it's not working. Maybe I should kill it. Kill it. The note got stuck. Development. Let's try again. Let's try again. Let's try again. Instrument. We create an instrument. Okay, that's really odd. Phase. Do we need some phase? Ah, that phase thing. So was that it? We just need. I'm not sure what the phase thing is. It seems to saturate our sample. Did you say? We'll get there. We'll get there. And next, okay, I just want to see. Phase again. Okay, I get it for the phase. It's like a pulse width modulation type, or it's the pulse width. It seems for the square wave. I'm not sure what it does for the triangle and the sawtooth and all the other ones. The pulse width is really only really makes sense in the square wave setup. Play that funky music. You apologize? Don't apologize, dude. It's a work in progress. I don't think tools like that worked right off the bat. It was just an iteration of trial and error. We just figured out while the instruments were quiet is because that phase thing needs to have at least some value. Can be set at 0. So we've created a few blocks. We'll just create the one block for now. So let's go back to. Oh yeah, and we have this. Let's just try this. Okay, and then okay. So that part I still don't understand how it works. Let's just delete all that. Yeah, I don't get. Let's just rename it. Can we rename this to something else? Is there a rename area? No. Oh yeah, here. Okay, we'll try it. What was that? The first one was. Oh, BPM. The first one was the. Was it the square wave? Forgot already. Triangle wave. Nope. Nope. Fix that, or how are you doing? Can we, so that doesn't work here. So CPU, can you confirm that this is where I should be selecting my instrument in general for which instrument should be playing? Yes. Okay. So right now, instrument 2 should be. No, instrument 2 is a. We didn't save it? Square. Ah, yes. Ah. But you should give them names on the bottom right. Set instrument. Sorry, I have something in the way there. Edit in away from copy. Okay, so this instrument, we'll just take the first one. No name. Oh, it's here. Oh, I see. And the video's gone. And the video is gone. I have the nope. I must have pressed the shortcut. So this must be an infuriating stream to watch. Okay, so this is the triangle. Is it reflected here? Oh yeah, so and if I select here, okay, triangle square. So that doesn't quite seem to be working. It's whatever we're selecting here. So if we have, oops. We have this here, and then I go here and I select the triangle. Whoa. So once we've committed a note, it will only play it on whatever instrument we have. Okay. So we need to delete that and nope. Interesting, if you press play here, the spacebar to stop replay won't work. But here it just okay, so no, interesting. It only plays the one. The music audio is also a lot louder than the mic. I apologize for that. Yeah, it's just the I'll try to. I have it like super low, but oh, it is because it's using a real stream plugin. Is this better? Sucking these notes. Terrible Fire, how are you doing? We're trying out CPU's tracker here, and like all new software, there's a lot of figuring out and trying to understand how the tool works. So I'm not sure here because if I try. That selection thing is confusing, I must say. I would literally just get rid of that and just allow for selection right here. But here if we have because it goes, okay, I see what's happening. So it goes on the next one. There's no instrument selected. So when you click on that, it selects it, and then you need to select the instrument. But yeah, it's and I don't think it actually. No, yeah, I don't think it plays anything other than the triangle. You see the instrument on the very first note. I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah, so I'm Ideally, it just whenever you press a note, it should play that. It should set that note for that cell, and for the instruments that you have here. This makes it really hard to edit. Set the instrument on note 0. You should set the instrument only on the first note. Set the instrument on note 0. Then on the other line, set the notes. Not set a new instrument. Oh, so you can only have one instrument per line? Is that what you mean? So here, if I wanted a triangle, it'll only go here. No, okay, no, then I'm not sure what you mean. So here, yeah, okay, I see what you mean. So here, I've set the instrument, and here I just play the note, and it'll keep playing the whatever notes I have here on that instrument. That I understand, but if you want to change instrument here, it's set to a triangle, but it's still playing the square wave. And if I try play, does it actually play it correctly? Yeah. So the instrument selection doesn't seem to be happening. Unless, and I think it's because you have two selector for instruments. There's one here, and I wonder if we have this here. No. Okay. What it could do is just set the set the, maybe just work on the baseline on this. Oh no, I closed the window. Work on the baseline on this guy, and then at least we'll have a skeleton of something. Doom. Oh, it doesn't go lower than that. Ding, ding. So for that baseline, it's not quite gonna work. We'll go an octave up. Also, we need it would be great to have like a way to have a metronome on these, because this is gonna be your ting ting. So let me just figure out the pacing. Is there a way to increase the BPM? Hey, Vampire, how are you doing? I just saw your emote there. Okay. Where is the on the right? On the right, yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Actually, let's do this. If you'd have a way to actually highlight those lines those 4 intervals, so it'll be like 0, 4, 8, 12, 16 every 4. Fixato, good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. So okay, here's another problem we're gonna face, is that we're trying to adapt what's essentially a waltz. So in what, 3/4? That's okay. Actually, we can add new blocks afterwards, so we can work like that. Trackers aren't typically waltz friendly, or anything that's not 4/4, but you can obviously work around it. It's just they're designed for 4/4 tunes. Do I delete this again? I forgot. Doesn't matter. There you go. Yeah, the stop on the space bar doesn't work if you use this this here. No, not you. Go away, you. You've been arsing about with some MSX development, but it would help if you actually knew what you're doing. And yeah, Vampire, yeah, Terrible Fire is working on something really cool. I'll let him describe it if he wants to. How did that tune go again? If those of you who were in the C64 session will understand, how tricky trackers are to use anyway. There's no reflection on CPU's tool here. It's just there. Yeah, that was it. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, okay. It doesn't reset to 0 when it goes to the end. That's okay. If I get the baseline, then we can actually use that as a skeleton for that baseline. There's only one problem I see with that baseline, is that those notes only go. We have this, but it doesn't go any lower than that on the second octave. So the first octave will be all. Yeah. And the image went. There must be a key that I pressed that actually. There are bass waves, so fair enough. Okay, I'll refer to that afterwards. Yeah, he's working on MSX clone. All the MSX.org can help you out. I recommended that he doesn't. based on his experience on the Amiga work and what I've seen on msx.org. It's a really good site. Don't get me wrong. There's a ton of very good people, but it's to share your work on a forum is the recipe for disaster because you get every single expert who will tell you that you're doing it wrong and you shouldn't be doing it that way and you should be doing it that way, and nothing gets done. I've seen that happen many times. And while it's a fantastic website and I frequent it regularly, and there's some really nice people on there, including yourself. For stuff like that, I think it's better to just plow on your own. And that's what happened with the Amiga. He did some cards for the Amiga, the Terrible Fire stuff, and yeah. Anyway, he's welcome to. I didn't. Terrible Fire doesn't necessarily listen to what I say, but that was my recommendation of the Open MSX Janet or the Open. Yeah, it's the same. So I've seen even the on the Discord. I've seen arguments, people arguing over just silly stuff, just ASCII codes and things like that. It's sometimes it's just better to deliver something once it's done, and it's done. But he's been and between on his streams or Discord, sometimes it's better to deliver, get something done and deliver it when it's done than just tell everybody about it, and that's usually when things go sour. Anyway, I forgot that bass line. It's funny, I couldn't get the volume to go any higher on the image went again. What's going on? There's something funny going on with the keyboard that when I press a certain key, it disables my stuff in Streamlabs, and I'm not sure what. It's all gonna make sense. It's all gonna make sense very soon. Nope. So we can probably change the octave here. Do. Yeah, that's it. So, OpenMSX is a good source. Yes, you would say that, Vampire, wouldn't you? Is Fixato involved in OpenMSX as well, by the way? Streamlabs, yeah. Shut up, Streamlabs. And I got one too. Okay, so next we have those. It's just going to be placeholders for the instruments. Just keep that in mind. We can we edit the instrument here directly, by the way? Doot, doot. No. So it's something like that. Do, 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 do. Yeah, that's it. Streamlabs. I wonder if you could ban Streamlabs. Whoever, don't try it. Whoever, if any of the mods are here, don't try it. But OpenMSX got a bit frustrated compiling it. Eventually gave up and built FMSX because it was simpler. Ouch. The cool thing about OpenMSX is that it will play, or it will allow you to patch a lot of the ROMs. Like there's a lot of ROMs that are released, and a lot of games that didn't have smooth scrolling, for instance. Stuff have been improved. Some games have a SCC version of their music now added. I think somebody did a mod of Vampire Killer turning back into Castlevania for Vampire Killer. There's translation patches as well. So OpenMSX will allow to use those to allow to play those patches, which is really, really handy. But I suppose for what you're doing, yeah, it's ease of compiling. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just whatever is quickie to put together, and then you just want to spit out all the instructions exactly. I did have a question, Fix CPU, if you're still in here. Would it be able to have the backspace as well? I don't know if you're making a list of requests I have or what. Would you be able to have the backspace so that when it deletes the current line without and it goes back to the previous one, so you just delete this one and it brings you back up. Because that's very, very handy actually to have. Clean and go up, exactly, yeah. So because delete clean, which is very handy, but sometimes you need to just, like if I press backspace, it'll actually just clean the entire section, go back up. It's really handy for editing in a tracker. It doesn't sound like much, but it's actually makes your life a lot easier. And the other thing, I don't know if you've noted it, but the so when you press play here and then you use the spacebar to stop, it doesn't work, so you have to use the button again. So there seems to be separate way of playing. I'm just wondering if you could make it work as well when you use the button. Just because I'm not very consistent in the way I play. Sometimes I use the spacebar, sometimes I play the button. I suppose I should leave the mouse alone and just use the keyboard for now. I'm just guessing how the tune goes. Did I close the window? No, it's here. Okay, it's just same line repeats. Do 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 do. So here our block ends should end technically end on 47. I'm wondering. Oh yes. Well, that was very easy. So okay, so that works. We have somewhat of a skeleton of this. Block edited. I'm just gonna save. How do I save music? Empty. I'm gonna select. Sorry, select this block. Okay. Edit in Wave Editor. So how do I save? So do I save in text or in binary? And what does it say? Does it save everything? And what's the best option to save? Binary. Okay. Engine data. Parent root manage resource. I'm not sure where I should save. Just in, it doesn't really matter. Test module or whatever tracker desktop. We could we could save to desktop. This is saved on my desktop anyway. The thing. Okay. Let me bring up Windows Explorer. And we'll double check if that save worked. Hey Fiona. Testmod.rom. There you go. It is. So I'll probably create a mods for save, and we'll go parent mods. There you go. Okay. So the only thing here that would hinder our progress is really the instrument selection. That doesn't seem to be working. It's working now. It's working now. It's oh, damn it. Well, I don't know, but it's working now, so we'll keep going. So we need a long square wave, or not a long square wave. We need a short square wave with a lot of decay. So we're going to drum on. We're going to edit this instrument, the square wave. Why is your phase at 0 when I come back here? Oh yeah, because it doesn't matter actually for... Yeah, it's something like that. Done. Okay, let's go back. Haha, we're getting somewhere. Okay. Let's go back and see what that it. So that sounds more like a triangle wave or a sawtooth wave. There's a little harmony as well on some of the notes. I was trying to use this line to replay or to scroll back. That's stupid, Ollie. You'll notice that the beginning of the tune is missing, so I made up, like, it starts here, so I'm assuming the beginning, because it loops back, is on this. Tommy Blum, how are you doing, dude? How are you doing? I'm testing out a tracker, or a whole development environment, really, including a tracker, a sprite maker, images, and that kind of stuff. That CPU here in the chat made. And Atomic Blum himself, well, you've been streaming some, I think, Valheim for a while, and Subnautica, but you've done some coding streams as well, haven't you? It has, yeah, it has. Yeah. Doo-doo, doo-doo. I'm not gonna make a note of that. I don't think that's that, but... Whoa! Okay, that'll do for now, and it'll... Is that it? I can't remember. Yeah. It's just the instrument isn't right. Not recently. Currently messing around with Unity and VR. I would love to get myself a proper VR headset. They're probably going to go cheaper now that, you know, with the PS5 and the new generation of consoles coming out. So maybe I could get a cheap set for the PS4 at some point. I'm still reluctant to get a PS5 even when they're available again, because they, like, you don't hear of a lot of stuff. I suppose yeah, you know, they will come out for the PS5. So I was going to back okay, to the instrument, and here. Why is it no name now? Why is it no name? Why is it no name? Never mind. Yeah, okay, it saved the name. So it sounded more like a really sort of plucky sound, tiny bit of... Okay. So here we could set it to triangle. So okay, this is the part that still confuses me, but I think I'm getting it. You need to select which instrument here you want to set it. I would really, CP, I would really argue a case here that you don't need to select the instrument. It's whatever is entered here will be entered in this note. And this idea of just having the instrument one and it doesn't need to be mentioned here or retriggered, you know, unless it's retriggered with another instrument, but I do find that more confusing than anything, to be honest. It just I would sort of, especially because you write it here, I would sort of expect to see it everywhere. But I can live with that. But it's just this whole selection here. I suppose it's a habit to take. Okay, that didn't work. Just bear with me. I think I know. Yes. Yes, I know. So F3 will disable the F3 fixator will disable the Streamlabs video, which shouldn't be happening. Well, because why? Not fixator, sorry, CPU. Will disable the Streamlab. Well, not the Streamlab, just that screen video, which yeah. I think I need to disable that in Streamlabs more than anything. So that's it. And then here we wanted the triangle as well. Oh, okay, it doesn't repeat. Let's just try again. Nope. So we're close enough. Does the instrument last the whole time on the original? It's actually a lot more plucked than this. So, and I think the square wave is longer as well. Is there a way to sustain? What are you doing to me? I think it's even shorter than that, but I'm not sure we have a... I'm just looking now at your... Oh, you know what? I should have... My bad, CPU. I should have really looked at more at what we had. With the noise, I could have used that for a sort of click drum for a click track. I see the bass here now that you mention it. I got so stuck on this that I didn't pay attention to whatever went there. But it's actually it's handy to have. Okay. Oh. A way out of that would have been cool, because right now I'm stuck here. I just need to, okay, I can click on that again. It might be an artifact of the window being a full screen. Let's go back to the original here. Which, again, why does it, okay. Okay, so I'm trying to count how many different instruments. Okay. I'm not sure if you can hear this actually. Is it super? Yeah, that's way too low, isn't it? I don't think you... Actually, you can just make it at... you've just lost the monitors on my Streamlabs as well. So this is a great stream. It's going really well. Just lost the monitor on my Streamlabs as well. So I don't know what you hearing at what levels. There doesn't seem to be a way to really have this like a super plucky sound. Or maybe... Yeah, this. Something like that. And then we can create another instrument for... So we can maybe just increase the BPM because it's a waltz. A bit louder, actually. It's a bit too plucky now. One thing I wasn't sure as well was the volume. So what happens here? So it will play everything. Yeah, this is the part that I don't think is strictly necessary. Setting the volume. Okay, although, you know, having to select it for it to be applied, I think this volume in general in an instrument can be Yeah, I see what you mean. I'm trying to think of a... Because unlike a traditional tracker, you don't have all the kind of text bits to set the volume. So I suppose you can set it per note here. Okay, that makes sense. It's just a matter for me to just get used to it, really. So here, if I set it once, it's pretty much a global thing, unless I set it to another value here. So I am assuming again that if I set it to 0 here, everything will be 0 afterwards. But if I set it to... Yeah, okay. Okay. Actually, I don't need to set it to anything. Yeah, okay. What is it? It's starting to make sense. It's starting to make sense. Okay, so we're gonna... Oh, I take it copy and paste or select with. Okay, so is there a way to copy everything? Copy to waveform, copy from waveform. No. To copy an entire pattern, I was wondering. That's okay. That one is a lot easier to use than the Go Tracker. In a way, it is. Yes, it just Go Tracker. I was used to that format anyway, so the trick for me was to figure out how to work the instruments, how to make them work. But the editing, the sending, the arpeggio system and all that kind of stuff, I was used to it. I was just trying to find out a new way to do it, or, essentially. I'm noticing something here. CPU is the BPM doesn't seem to have been reflected or changed in here. And the new block, even though it's here, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, probably doesn't refresh that way. Let's see if copy and paste works. Cool, I like that. And oh yeah, we'll worry about the length afterwards. You hate UI coding. It's one of the, I was gonna say it's one of the hardest. It's pretty tough because, I mean, usage really, and users dictates how effective a piece of software is, really, like, to a large extent. Like, if the few shortcuts that he added, like, just made a world of difference already in using this tool. You're having a hard time following the Twitch. It stops every 10 seconds. It's okay. You and I can discuss separately afterwards on stuff. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, UI is so tough to code because just unless you're a user and you want to cater for so many different types of users as well, which is impossible. Block list. How many blocks? I was saying a fixato here. Sorry, why do I call you fixato? CPU, that in the block list here, the changes to the blocks, this one still has a length of 64, even though it's 47, and the BPM here, so it's not reflecting the changes in the that we've made earlier. And if I change this, it should be 47. Did it save it? No. Default length. Oh no, that was the default length. So, so when you change the block, but if I, okay. This is why actually we need 48 then, because it starts at 0. Oh, that's why Apple stripped the UI to a minimum. Yeah, and they were right. They were like, strip it to bare and just tell people that's the way it works, and that's that, But it's the same. It's the same here. I just have to figure out and understand how what's expected of the user and how does it work, more than anything else. There is a couple of additional, like being able to switch octaves using the F keys. That was really important, because otherwise it was just stuck to just that one row on the keyboard, and then other than that you'd have to change the notes here, which is, I mean, it's feasible. It's just really tough to write anything like that. So that made a difference. The press play with the spacebar, as opposed to relying on the buttons here, and being able to switch between free play and the edit mode. That was really handy. Does it not work? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Does it not work? As it does, the tracker works. It just, I need to figure out how to use it. Changing octaves. It works. There's one thing I hadn't thought of. Yeah, it works, and it makes, I mean, it works. I just press the same key and change with the F key, and it seems that when you press F4 or F3 or whatever, yeah, F2. Oh, okay. So F2 will bring this window that disappears all the time. It will bring it back, and F3 will make it disappear. On on the stream, but that's because it must be tied somewhere in Streamlabs, and that's something I need to fix or remove. But no, I like the fact that you've mapped them to the F keys to changing the octaves. It works really well. So here we have, I'm just gonna edit this block and copy all that. It would be great actually to be able to copy across across the tracks like that, to go over and copy all that, but that's okay. Cool. And I'm not sure if the harmony is repeated in the second part. So this is what I'm gonna do for a while here. Just lay out the bass and that little tint 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 section in the background. Just cement that throughout the tune. Just have it right, and then over that we can write the melody. But right now, what am I doing? No, right now I just want to, because I think on the second time around it changes instrument and that pluck sound disappears. It's still a sawtooth, but it's a lot longer. So I'm going to change that as well. And then, okay. So normally, by just changing, oh, here we need to tell it actually that it's the triangle. In this case, it defaults. I understand it defaults to the first instrument, which is the triangle, but that's not the case. Some idiot from Scotland made a bare minimum Amiga accelerator. we won't say names. The hardest part was keeping it simple and sticking to that. Every option adds a chance of failure. Yes, yes. And then as soon as you released, people tell you that it's too simple and they want more complex stuff on it. Yeah, usually the way. So no, Fixato, your tool works. Don't get me wrong. Your tool works. I just need to get used to it. And there's some little elements that I'll write feedback on. I'll let you know. But other than that, I think we sort of figured out how it works and how we navigate all of this. Yeah, and it's a usable tool. Absolutely. So triangle, oh yeah, another instrument. So we're great. Another instrument. Triangle, can we just short? Yes. We'll call this triangle long. Long. See, now I know what I have to do. There's no sound, is because the phase, I'm not sure what that phase thing is. But actually it's sawtooth, it's not a triangle. Saw long. Blocks list. So here it should be that number 3. So that should work, and here it should be. Actually, we just test that. Nope. Did it? Yeah, it needs more sustain. I just thought of something and forgot it instantly. What was it? I can't remember. Oh yeah, so one of the reasons why I don't know if you're hearing a CPU. One of the reasons I'll make a note of that why I was saying it's easier. It would be, I think, more useful to have each instrument defined individually, so not having to rely on the first instrument triggered here. Is because if I start the tune here, it will use that default triangle wave instead, or whatever previous default note this was. So if you start, like, if you want to hear what you've just done, like somewhere here, and all these notes are set to that first instrument over there, then you really need to listen to your piece from the beginning, so it triggers that, or it triggers the selection of the instrument. So I think from a practical aspect, it's probably better to have every instrument defined individually based on not whether it's selected here, but which one you've selected here. So let's just say, like, if I click on this, it'll default to that here. It'll go back to that square wave or whatever this note is. Like, if I go here, it does that. But if I go here, it doesn't do that. So maybe just have them defined for every cell. I don't know how feasible that is. I'm not sure if that made sense. But see if I play this. Well, in this case, it saved them. If I change the instrument, or if I select a different instrument for this, and I start playing from here, or if I change the instrument and my cursor is here and I press play, it won't save. Okay, that worked. And here I think we can use the short. And I'm actually not sure if it played that little kind of melody-ish bit. No, it didn't. And the reason it doesn't is because this is a C64, isn't it? Track. It only has three tracks. We can probably keep it and just flesh this out. Keep it. Actually, there's no reason not to keep it. I'll just copy this. Because we have an extra track for the melody, so we can let the tune just build up as it does naturally in the thing. But whenever it adds stuff, we can leave it. Like, we have 8 possible tracks. So technically, we don't need to cheat around the tracks. So let's just say here. Would display the music. Okay, so that plays the entire music or block list. Okay, cool. I think next is going to be for me, and I'm not going to start doing this now, but I think next for me is going to be to just lay out this section, this progression, how many blocks are required for all of this to mirror the original, and then I can work on the melody afterwards, and then we can go back and just refine each instrument. But I think for the purpose of this this session and this stream, I did actually learn quite a bit on how the tool works, and it's I already far better than I was when I started the stream, which was sorry about a little bit of a panic mode and disaster, trying to understand how it worked. But I think I'm okay now, and so the most important is just get the skeleton down, and then I can worry on the melody, and then we can worry about just replicating the instruments properly, make sure those harmonies don't clash. Right now you can hear there's a little bit of a bleeding over between the instruments. It might just be the nature of the tracker as well. That's fine. Every tracker has its own way of handling waveforms and um, preventing phase clashing and that kind of stuff. So we can tweak that afterwards once the whole piece is done. But right now, I think this is a good place to end it. Actually, this was interesting for me. I don't know if it was fun for all of you to listen to me just messing up poor CPUs, CPUs too. But it's really cool piece of visual studio environment. You get palette editor, the tile maps. I don't know if you wanted me to show that, but it's too late. A sprite editor, fonts, you got a ROM selector and your code here. Retro game engine, virtual magic. Yeah, it's really cool. I know you offered to me to send me some ROMs so I could actually just open them and maybe show people, but I think focusing for now on this was probably the better thing to do, and me understanding how the tool works. The pattern it's handy that you can select like that on the fly the pattern and what default length you want as well. Actually, the default, this should be 130. There you go. Yeah, just and oh, I hadn't done this new block, pig block. Okay. So can you actually? I'm just gonna do this. Can you pick block here and it'll long? No, I don't think it does. I don't think it refreshes here. Oh yeah, it does actually. So you can pick my block. I don't need to go back to the block list. Go to edit and block edit. Yeah, I can actually pick it here. Well, there you go. I learned something again. And I should say, oh yeah, there's one thing I wanted to say is there's no way to exit this. It'll be great to be able to exit clicking somewhere else or have a close button for this window, because here I can only exit if I not even click on something else. No, if I select one, that'll be useful, because there's a couple of times as well in the instrument section where I got stuck by that window. Alt F4. There you go. Alt F4. Let's just see. No, that doesn't seem to work for me. Oh, well, that closed the entire crap. I shouldn't have listened to Atagorn. I think I just lost my progress as well. Escape didn't seem to work. It's okay. Let me just see if I is there's no temporary save, is there? Load, okay. No, okay. Well, I lost my progress. Thank you, Athagorn. I'm gonna. It's okay. I know how to like. It's just a matter of copying and pasting, and I know what I need to do, so it's not a big deal. I'm just gonna set it to the default here, so I don't get confused next time I start it. So this is 130. That's all right, dude. That's all right. I would have been more mad at myself for doing that earlier on. Here we have the skeleton. We don't have the little harmony, but I know how to add that. It's not a big deal. I can add that in 5 minutes the next time. I would I would recommend UI ads. Would you like to save before closing? Yeah, that's just my fault. I should have known, like, Alt F4. Yeah, CPU has a sad face. Dude, don't be. The important bit for me to understand how it works, what I just done in the and I have this saved. What I just done in the last section was just easy to replicate. I just essentially added a little harmony and just fine tuned the instruments. That's it's not a big deal. I'm gonna leave this at that for tonight. CPU, thanks very much for joining in and just guiding me through my own stupidity. Using this tool, and I'll get back to you. Well, I've you have some feedback anyway already, but we'll talk again maybe tomorrow, maybe not tonight because it's getting late here. A bunch of monkeys are using it, and folks, I hope this was at least somewhat interesting. And have a good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Actually, I'm not completely gone, folks. Do we raid someone? I see VXD FRD, our other mod, is streaming. I'm just gonna launch a raid to his channel. We at least will say hello. See you tomorrow.